Right now, the edge of America is booming. The town of Folly Beach seeing a big boost in tourism as Charleston continues to gain national and international recognition.
Kolbie Satterfield joins us now from downtown Folly, where more people than ever before are now heading. Kolbie?
Bill and Debbie, I've been talking with Folly business owners all day, and they all say their business has been booming. Now, there's still some people out walking about right now, but I talked with several restaurant managers today, and they've all told me one thing. This is the busiest season they've seen yet. They say especially in the last 4 or 5 years, they've really seen an uptick. And with last year's off-season being busier than ever, they're expecting the same this year. They tell me the business season is starting earlier and is lasting longer. Live in downtown Folly, Kolbie Satterfield, Live 5 News.
They're coming to you from North Charleston. Police there are on the scene investigating a shooting at this hour.
The call came in just after 9 o'clock this evening. It happened on Ranger Drive in North Charleston.
We've got a crew on the scene. Our Kolbie Satterfield actually out there live with more information. Kolbie?
I'm here in North Charleston, right by the A1 food store, where just a couple of minutes ago, fire officials just got done spraying down the road. Now, neighbors tell me in the area that a man was shot. They say they heard multiple gunshots from their homes and in their yards. And they're also telling me the man who was shot was in his early 20s. Now, they're also saying it happened right here behind the convenience store, and they say they found him on the curb. And the neighbors tell me they believe he collapsed as he was trying to get away. Now, they still don't know the cause of the shooting or the man's condition. Live in North Charleston, Kolbie Satterfield, Live 5 News.
All day we've had team coverage ahead of Hermine, and right now Kolbie Satterfield is at Sullivan's Island. Kolbie, what's the scene like ahead of the storm there?
Right now, I've quite a few people out walking about on the beach, but I want to show you just how strong these waves are getting. Within the last hour, they look to me like they've almost doubled in size. Now, the beach I'm at is already dangerous and prone to rip currents, but it's going to be even more dangerous from now through the weekend. So I just want to remind everyone that officials are asking you to stay out of the water, because the closer the storm gets, the worse the waves will be. Live in Sullivan's Island, Kolbie Satterfield, Live 5 News.
Okay, we're going to head back outside and continue our team coverage in Mount Pleasant, where people have been reporting some pretty high winds over the last few hours, and that's where Kolbie Satterfield joins us live. So what are the conditions like there right now? Looks like it's calming down a bit.
It's calming down a little bit, but within the last couple minutes, actually, the 40-mile-an-hour sign has blown off of the Ravenel Bridge, and it's currently still dangling. Now, there is a wind advisory on the message board right before you come across the bridge, asking people to go slow, but cars are still coming back and forth on it. I actually talked to a couple kids who walked across the bridge, and the wind was so strong they couldn't even lean forward. Right now, it's not as strong, but it has been pretty strong down here as well. Live in Mount Pleasant, Kolbie Satterfield, Live 5 News.
Also new at 11, in exactly 1 month from today, the only Bi-Lo in downtown Charleston is set to close. The announcement has upset many people who say they're now in a food desert. Now, the nearest grocery stores, there's a Food Lion on Upper King Street and a Harris Teeter on East Bay Street. In fact, there's a petition going around asking people to boycott all Bi-Los. Kolbie Satterfield tells us why so many people rely on the downtown store and how it's going to make things more difficult for them once it's gone.
I use the Bi-Lo all the time.
Janie Small-Cobbett lives downtown and uses the Bi-Lo as her main grocery store. But after October 5th, she'll have to go elsewhere.
It's going to be real difficult because the building that I live in, there's a lot of senior citizens there, and by that store moving, they don't have no way to get to another store. So we really need that Bi-Lo.
She says by not having a car, it's going to really add up for her to go somewhere else. She'll be able to take the bus there, but unfortunately won't be able to take it back.
If I catch a cab, I got to pay $10 to come back home. It's going to be really costly. I mean, have to catch 2 buses. 2 buses to go up the road and 2 buses to come back down. And the older people can't take all the packages on the bus.
But they're not the only ones concerned about getting home with their groceries.
Well, I heard somebody today, well, it's only a mile to the store on Upper King Street. Well, a mile is a long way when you're lugging 40 pounds of groceries.
But there's more concerns than just being able to get their food home. They're also worried about the lack of competition.
I think really the Harris Teeter might raise their prices because that's the only grocery store down there. So, you don't have any competition.
Occasionally, we have to make a very hard decision to close an underperforming store so that we may continue to invest at what matters most to our customers, end quote. Now, I also reached out to the developer of this lot, but they were not in today for the holiday. Live in downtown Charleston, Kolbie Satterfield, Live 5 News.
New at 11, many people in Dorchester County this evening voicing their concerns after bees were killed in a recent aerial mosquito spray. Some of them want that type of spraying to stop completely.
Kolbie Satterfield was there at the meeting and met up with not only beekeepers, but also a council member.
They're showing up dead everywhere. We've seen dead bees in the Target parking lot, Publix. I mean, anywhere that, the spray came into contact with, and we just don't know what the effects are going to be long term.
An aerial mosquito spraying gone wrong. Now they're petitioning to stop aerial spraying in all of Dorchester County.
We took action immediately. We tried to stop it. We created a petition. It now has 7,600 signatures. We did try to stop it, and unfortunately, it didn't stop, and they moved forward with the spraying.
The spraying killed over 2 million bees, but according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, aerial spraying is the most effective way to kill mosquitoes. However, they say it's not worth the price they have to pay to spray.
If that spray gets on an organic farmer's farm, it ruins their organic certification. It takes a long time to get, and they lose 15% of the profits right off the top.
So I asked Council Member David Chinnis how important it was to use aerial mosquito spraying.
Ultimately, public safety is very important. When you look at what's happening in Miami and how the humans have become the vectors for Zika virus, it's imperative that with 4 known cases of travel Zika in Dorchester County, we keep that from happening to somebody else, because a human life is most important to me.
But for some, they've chose to bring their bees to Dorchester County to avoid this kind of spraying.
That's one reason I'm in Dorchester County and not in Berkeley County or in Charleston County, because they did not aerial spray.
And other people against the spraying say they just don't know what's in it.
We don't quite understand what is going into these toxic chemicals that they're spraying over our heads.
Now, Charleston County will start aerial spraying tomorrow, and that will last until September 12th. Live in Dorchester County, Kolbie Satterfield, Live 5 News.